Good afternoon, dear students. So, in last class, I will discuss the what is algorithm and what are the main characteristics of algorithm. And today, I have discussed what is the what are the asymptotic notations that are used to analyze the particular algorithm. So, basically, we have a three type of asymptotic notation. On the basis of the notation, you can analyze the time complexity of any particular algorithm. So the first one is best case, that is omega notation. So omega notation is represented by big O omega notation. So this is used for best case algorithm. Best case algorithm. Now the second one is average case. Average case, the symbols that are used to average case analysis is big theta. And the third one is the worst case. Worst case is represented by Bego notation. So one by one, each of them we will discuss each of the notations and what are the mathematical equations that are used in the particular algorithm. So 1 minute. So 1 minute. Image. Okay. So omega notation. So what is the meaning of omega notation? Basically, if we draw the graph, if we draw the graph between two functions, there is a one function fn and the second one is gn function. So the mathematical formal definition of omega notation is whenever we have a two function fn and gn, so we can say that Fn is a big omega of Gn if and only if then this equation will satisfy. So this equation it says that Fn is always greater than or equal to C into Gn, where C is some constant, the value of C is greater than 0 and N is and not value is always greater than equal to 0. So if this equation is lie, then we can say that the Fn is the big omega of G of n. So look at this diagram. This diagram clearly shows that from here to here, the n naught value before n equal to n naught, the f of n sometimes is greater than or less than g of n, but after the value of n or n naught, we can clearly say that see that fn is always greater than c into g of n. So in omega notation, you have to find out the what is the value of n naught and what is the constant value. So to solve these two values, then we can say that put these two numbers n0 and n3 in the given equation. So we can say that easily f of n is always greater than of c into g of n. So this is the formal definition of omega notation, and the graph will show the omega notations graph, and this is used for the best case. So now we will discuss the second notation, that is big O notation. Big O notation is generally represent for this. There is some mistake. This is not a best case. This is the worst case. This is the worst case notation. So in slide there is a mistake. So what is the formal definition of big O notation? So again we have a two function. One is f of n and second is g of n. And so f of n is big O of g of n function if and only if whenever there is some constant n equal to n naught. After that c into g of n, this function is always greater than of f of n. So we can say that after the value of n equal to n naught, the function g of n is always greater than of f of n. So we can say that g of n is the upper bound of f of n. So this is the mathematical definitions of uppercase notation.